type questions and clinical cases are always difficult to solve at first prof level. And you know why? What's the reason? The reason is over dependence, over reliance on the notes. So therefore, before we proceed with today's question, I would suggest to you all to limit your over dependence on the notes part. Remember the concepts, understand the concepts well to solve such questions. So let's see this question. Sodium potassium pump is electrogenic. Explain why. So here in this question, which may be for 2 or 3 marks, you have to first talk about the transport proteins in the cell membrane. There are 2 types of transport proteins in the membrane in this context: electroneutral or electrogenic. Look, transporters, the transport proteins are carrying cations and anions. If a particular transport protein is not contributing any additional charge, electrical charge on the membrane, then it would be an electroneutral transporter. For example, NKCC transporter in the renal tubules. It carries 1 sodium, 1 potassium and 2 chloride ions simultaneously. So 2 cations and 2 anions which will not contribute. That means it will not contribute anything additional to the membrane charge, and that's electroneutral. Now what about electrogenic? Sodium potassium pump is electrogenic because obviously it contributes an additional certain charge on the membrane. And why so? Let's understand. Our starting point for understanding is that there is law of electroneutrality as a starting point. So there are equal number of cations and anions on either side of the membrane. Now if sodium potassium pump starts working, it carries 3 positive charges, that is 3 sodium ions from inside to outside, and 2 potassium ions, that is 2 positive charges are brought in to replace those 3 positive charges. It means what? When the pump is functioning, slowly there would be a deficit of positive charges, and deficit of positive charges inside the cell, meaning relatively excess negative charges. And therefore, this pump contributes negative potential or negative charge on the membrane. And whenever we say on the membrane, it is just inside aspect of the membrane. You know that. So, a negative charge contributed on the membrane, and that is why it is called as electrogenic transporter. It contributes -4 millivolts to the RMP of a skeletal muscle, for instance. So, if it is -90 millivolts, out of that, -4 is contributed by this pump, and therefore it is said to be an electrogenic pump or electrogenic transporter. Many such questions we are going to deal in the coming days, so it will be a good idea to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon.